Yeti Nation?
What's up, Yeti Nation? Greg Beecher, Justin. Good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm living the dream, my friend. Living the dream. Beecher, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. We have had a very exciting couple days here at Blue Squatch Productions. We've hooked up a bunch of new games. We've got a lot of exciting news that's going to come out soon. It's not quite ready yet. Speaking of exciting news, Crafty Beach is making these sweet new Utica Yeti shirts. They will be at the Battle on the Barge. But and the coasters. There we
And
go. We got
coasters. We got our
coasters.
coasters. We got the
Here's
coasters.
here's the prototype.
There's the whacker. The Yeti whacker, baby.
Yeah. So we definitely got some stuff at the Battle on the Barge that's gonna be new. It's gonna be exciting. The Battle on the Barge is so the NABLL season opens, and you have decided to do this, Paul, where you run the Battle on the Barge Zoom, and it's like a kickoff game. And you've got honestly some very tough competition coming. So you've got Collar City Kings. Anybody who doesn't know, they won the Metro Division. They had a pretty good showing, even for not having a lot of guys that went to nationals. And Oswego, I would argue, as I put in the description below, I think they are by far the most improved team in the. I don't think anybody else could have improved as much as they did. That first game I watched you guys, you beat them pretty handily, and then honestly it was pretty much a complete turnaround by that last game. They were hot and they were running, and you're starting to get some kids box lacrosse. And Justin Warner's joining us, and this is one of the things you can talk about, Justin, is getting box experience. So we'll go into that for a minute. You've got the background of you grew up in Canada, and I'll let you introduce your playing career.
Well, my name's Justin Warner. From Peterborough, Ontario, which is pretty much a mecca for indoor lacrosse, I'd say. I've been playing since I was like indoor lacrosse until since I was about 6. All my cousins played like senior pro. My uncles played junior, so I've always been in a rink. And in towns like this, it's like you're a ball boy, it's just what you do. Hockey's kind of second in a town like this, which majority of the rest of Canada or Ontario, hockey's always first. But in a town like this, in the summer, you play lacrosse, indoor lacrosse. And it's complete opposite, right? Like field comes to us late. Like I didn't start playing field till high school. And so that's a big thing that's huge difference with the Americans is you guys are now, everyone's like box is fun and going that way. But like you always talk about the IQ. The IQ, I was saying this to you earlier, Greg, like it's getting there big time. Like the IQ for box is getting there in the States. But one thing I'll never doubt with the Americans is they're athletes, man. They run for days. Like a lot of us kids here are like just big guys that shoot, right? But you got guys like Tommy Schreiber, they'll run circles around you.
Yeah, that is a big thing, but it's like anything else. It's just time that you spend. So you start playing box at an early age, and like you said, you guys, you've switched to field. What is that transition like? Because we hear so many times guys talking about doing it the opposite way, but how is that, going to field? What does it, feel like? Is it just like, oh my goodness, I have all day, and I can't believe you gave me a bigger goal with no pads?
Pretty much. So I think like when field, I would say probably got big in Ontario. It was when Syracuse won the national championship with like Cody Jameson. Remember when he scored that overtime goal and
I
stuff?
was there. I was there.
That comeback against Cornell. So back here, like there's Stephen Keel was on the thing, and there was a lot of Canadians, and that kind of like obviously there was the Gates and stuff, but for my generation, like I never got to experience them when they were young. Like for us, like those guys, like I think a lot of people in Ontario, like we just wanted to all go to Syracuse, to be honest with you. And field, let's just say when we went to American tournaments, we got a lot of penalties because we just were cross checking. But another thing is we got a lot of lefties here, which seems to be the opposite in the States. And that attracted a lot of university coaches. So you'll see a lot of lefties that go to the NCAA from Canada. Majority of the time, are, like they're lefties, and coaches are all over them because I guess it's weird how it is, but we just are more lefty dominant lacrosse players than the States have had in the past. And I don't know if it's more because of box or what. I don't know what the whole story with that is, but that kind of helped a lot of guys they're like, listen, like school, that's kind of what gets guys in the field here. Like box is fine and dandy, and that's what they love more. But like at the end of the day, everyone just plays field lacrosse here for an education, really.
Yeah. And now, do you write left-handed at everything, or you just play lacrosse left-handed?
No, I'm a lefty. I rate with my right hand. I golf right. I shoot left in hockey and lacrosse. That's it.
But that's why I think it is because most hockey players, or not most, but a lot of hockey players play that way. I'm the opposite. I'm actually left-handed and play hockey left-handed. But like my
Yeah,
brother's right-handed, he plays hockey left-handed. I know so many guys that are like that and they kind of play.
yeah,
And I bet you that's why so many guys grab a lacrosse stick because when you spend years playing with a hockey stick in your hands that way, it's just a natural kind of switch.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I get stuck on the right side though, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's
Stay
awesome.
on the left. Stay on the left.
Stay on the left. I
Cut
love it.
through.
I love it.
Cut
So,
through.
Paul,
Yeah.
what do we got going on? You said we've got some new sponsors coming. Let's talk a little bit about that. Fill us in on what we know with the battle on the barge as we're getting closer to that.
To date with the battle on the barge, we are sad to say that the Westminster Wild has backed out. So I'm in the process. I talked to Jason Webb. I will be talking to Justin in after the show tonight and filling them in on as far as how the format will go. We're gonna start out with the Yeti will play Oswego at 10 a.m. At 12 noon, there will be a youth program, two youths, the Whitesboro Warriors, Whitestown Warriors, I should say, and the New Hartford Spartans, fifth and sixth grade team will be playing for a three-quarter, three periods, not three quarters, three periods. First time ever being in the box. There's going to be some newbies to the sport, and I guarantee out of those newbies, they're going to all want to continue to play in box. Then I'm going to follow that game at 1 o'clock. The Oswego Riverhawks will be playing the Collar City Kings. And then at 3 o'clock, there'll be another fifth and sixth grade. They're having a double header. So as far as what they did wrong in the first game, they can make some corrections and see what they did, bring it back the second game. And they're going to play. And then at 4 o'clock, the Yeti will be facing off against the Collar City Kings and the nightcap. And from there, we're going to have some awards afterwards. We got some stuff from Bag Square, from Nora's Candy. So we got a couple different gifts that we're going to give out to the guys for getting to the battle on the barge. And there's a couple things that we got for the kids. Can't quite say that because then it'll kind of blow the surprise to them. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. As far as a little disappointed that we couldn't get that fourth team. We tried. I contacted Maine. Actually, I do need to contact Cambridge tonight because they were in Onondaga. And with talking to Webby, I am going to reach back out to them because there is a chance that, it's at this point in time, I'm content, not content. If we can get another team, I'm all for it.
It'd be amazing, but at this point, you're expecting it to be a three-team battle on the barge.
It's turned into a three-team, five-team, we're going to say, but
Well, and actually, so what this does though is, we're gonna do the whole turning lemons into lemonade. Is
that's how
now
we do it.
you've given these kids a chance to have their very first ever box lacrosse game recorded and streamed on on a YouTube show. That has got to be exciting, and that is a big focus with the NABLL. And Justin, that's kind of what we talked a little bit about this before, and a lot of it is we need guys with that box IQ. And what we find with a lot of these teams is every team kind of has a handful of guys that really know box, and then there's a bunch of guys that are trying to learn box, trying to convert from being a field player into it.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's just we need in general for this game to grow is like things you guys are doing, right? Like I was talking to you earlier about like when you're asked like why I was coming here, and it didn't take long to see the passion you guys had. And I was like, there's something special going on and up in the state of New York and hopefully eventually all of the states when it comes to box lacrosse. And I was saying, we may have the IQ here, but we're not doing too much to grow it here anymore, unfortunately. And might lose my citizenship for this. I was saying this to you earlier, Greg, but like if it keeps growing in the States, like one of these world indoors, one of these days, we might be in a little trouble here.
I tell you, after this past weekend, Justin, I was pretty pumped to be a part of the film crew for the women's team America One, as Coach Cap was calling them.
Mhm.
And I know the coaching staff. I got now to meet them personally, and working with Tony. The passion that the coaching staff is putting into it, and what U.S. Lacrosse is doing for the American side of it, it's pretty special to be a, I'll call myself a spectator, but if they want to call me a water boy or whatever, but I'll do whatever I can for to watch this special time this grow in the city of Utica, and it's pretty exciting, especially to say it's Team USA. I'm excited and elated with with our team and in the growth of the NABLL. But honestly, I'm an Air Force brat. That's what brought me to Rome, and to say that this is something that I can do for my country, I'm all for it. Please, sign me up 10 times.
Yeah, for sure. And well, I'll tell you this right now, like you guys got to step up because Canada hasn't even got coaches yet for the women's team. So
it's as far the short amount of time that I've got to meet Coach Cap.
yeah,
I'll tell you one thing. You want to talk about fire? I tell you what. Well, she played in the NLL. She's she's no stranger to the box game. And
I mean, what kind of person does that take though to just, you know what? I don't care what anybody says, and I don't care that nobody's ever done it before. I'm gonna prove that I can do it. And then when you meet her and you talk to her, she's like the humblest, like most soft-spoken person, but it's like there is a lion in there because there's no way you make it to that level. That's something nobody's ever done. She's just got like that personality. And now she's going to be the first women's lacrosse coach after being the first woman to play in the NLL. That's just yeah, it's mind-blowing. And then like you said when you talk to her, she's so humble, so soft-spoken, so awesome.
well, I think I think you're getting
you
a lot
go
of
on.
these,
You go on. You
see a lot
talk.
of these girls buying into it too. So like my wife, she's hoping to be playing for Canada. She plays in a thing called the WMSL, so the Women's Major Series Lacrosse out here. And the league hasn't been that hot for the past few years, but now they got guys that are turning it around, and like a lot of the girls that have gone to school and stuff are buying in because I think the main reason is like they see all the little kids and they're like they want those kids to have something after it, right? Like so many girls go to school, play, and then they're done. There's nothing else for them. With this world thing, I think especially the women's games, like I think it's huge for the game of lacrosse. It's also a huge step to bringing it to the Olympics because honestly, the way I think lacrosse gets back in the Olympics is indoor. It's the same rules.
Yeah.
It would be nice. I personally, I'm not a big fan of the sixes concept. You basically, it's box lacrosse without walls.
Yeah, you give it to Canada. There's no way Canada will lose the sixes.
There's no way what was the one score? I think I seen 31 to whatever it was. I'm like, these are football scores, but I mean, it's got its pros, it's got its cons, but you know what? Just put it inside the rink. I mean, you're changing the game a little bit.
Well, there was barely any news on it, but there was just a women's tournament in Europe just like I think a month ago. There's a bunch of European teams that have already been doing it for a while. Like I just think it makes more sense. Like in the sixes, I'll tell you that can't be fun for a goalie.
No. I mean, I've seen some of the pictures that the guy was posting, and it's like this guy is nothing but tendered. It was just one bruise after the other bruise after the other bruise.
You at least need hockey pants on your thighs and maybe some like soccer goalie shin guards. But at that point, I don't know. Just give them some actual leg pads. Even if you don't want them to have wide ones like box guys because you want more goals, I guess. But I mean, in a lot of these box games, you're getting over double digits. How many goals do you need? But by the way, who is this amazing man over here standing filming the first ever women's? That's pretty impressive, Paul. How was that to be a part of that?
I'm telling you right now, when Coach Cap, at some point, you're gonna be getting the highlights as well, Greg. But when she brought the team in, man, you don't understand the passion that was brewing in that room was, you could cut it. She brought them in and explained this is where the championship rounds are going to be played inside the main odd, and brought them right to center rink and said, take a look around, ladies. And I'll leave the rest to the team. But what she brought to the table right at the beginning, woohoo, fired up. And to be standing there videotaping, I had tears in my eyes. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was pretty freaking awesome. It was pretty awesome, crazy awesome. And then again, the rest of the day watching these, there's D1 athletes out there, that played at Syracuse, and I wish I could get them on the Yeti because they were freaking awesome. I was like, holy sugar.
So the thing that there's one thing that I've been talking to a few of my buddies and my wife about, with them announcing all this, that I'm like, man, I just wish it was earlier. Because growing up, it's unfortunate, but I had some girls that would grow up and they would play with us until about 16 in box, and then organizations back then would just be like, listen, this is getting too rough, even though completely bull crap. They were hold their own, so they'd go the hockey way. But I'm like, man, if they knew they were able to do this, and I think that's why that's why this is huge, because now it gives girls, not only does it grow the game of lacrosse in whole, but it gives little girls, little kids something to look at. Let's face it, there's not many lacrosse idols that are females. There is, if you watch it all the time, but these things are going to have kids having favorite players that are girls now, which is huge for the game of lacrosse.
Huge. It's a whole nother element. It's hockey, and that's what I love so much about it. It's the same game. They don't take, in regards to hockey, there's men's rules and there's women's rules. What I love about it, you want to know what? Here's the rules. They're the same rules.
And that's why I think it will be a good Olympic sport, because they don't got to change anything.
Well,
you don't have to change anything.
A good Olympic sport, though, but it's just nice to see a sport that there's actual parity. It's completely the same. I mean, outside of racing, where a 100-meter run is a 100-meter run, and track and field, and you're talking about those Olympic sports, but it's nice to see one where you don't have to explain okay, here's the men's rules, but here's the women's rules. It's no, these are the rules of the game, and they go out there. Speaking of which, so we were kind of talking earlier. One of the nice things that the NABLL is doing this year, as far as the physicality, is and it's not just the NABLL. It's kind of the NLL and everywhere. They're getting away from the off-ball slash, and you're still allowed to push them out of the crease, but they don't want to see that repeated, cross.
Jam.
Yes, they don't want to see 3 or 4 of those. You get up to them, you hit them with the stick, and you push them. You don't just sit there and smash them. Now that, I think, is going to be a huge benefit for the league, because one, you're going to find a lot of guys who can play into a much older age range, and the other thing you're going to get is these college guys are going to really start, I think, showing up in force, as long as it stays that kind of league.
Yeah,
it's good all the way around. Not to say that it wasn't safe. It's safe, but on the same note, is it's unneeded. Some of this, it's, I don't know. I'm a guy standing on the outside looking in. I'm going to talk. Let the player talk about it. What do you think about it, Justin?
I mean, as an old guy, I get a lot of those whacks, but I've just always been taught, you stop,
play through it.
Stop moving your feet, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I agree, it gets a little aggressive, but I don't know. I got different views on it. I agree that it doesn't have to be crazy, but if you don't whack the guy, then the guy's gonna stand there all day.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to look at it, right? But they need to get rid of the whole. We just saw in one of the playoff games, the whole guy gets on the net, and then the D guy pushes your guy into their goalie, and then the D guy is gonna fight you, even though he pushed you into them.
Right.
That all the time.
that does happen all the time. I laugh all the time, because especially when you see it in the replay, you're like, the only reason he hit the goalie is because you shoved him into the goalie.
Yeah. We've had several of that also, and Brandon Davis, one of our players, he was a recipient of the goalie not being happy. And it's like, dude, your guy just blew you up. And Brandon's getting the stick across the throat kind of concept, a hand on the face mask, stick across the throat as the goalie's trying to get up. And it's like, it wasn't as bad.
So 2 years ago, a bunch of 6 of my buddies, we went out to Nashville to play in a box tournament. All guys that play senior back home. And after the first 2 games, every team thought we were psycho. They asked us why we were so mad and stuff, just because they'd be wearing field helmets too. They'd run through the middle off ball and just boom, just chop. And that's how we play.
Yeah.
And the refs know they can't call it, so they're like, and then we didn't do too hot in that tournament. In the last game, we were having a few extra waters. And the ref said, man, you guys are a lot nicer when you're intoxicated.
Not nearly as motivated out there.
But that's just how we play, man. I'm just like a lot of these guys are lucky. Since I've been at least 15, almost every time I go for the middle, I'm getting a wooden stick chopped on me. Those hurt a lot more.
Yeah, but like you said, that is one thing that it does make you do is move your feet, because that is one thing you notice is as soon as you stop moving your feet, though, it's your offensive chances are pretty much over. If you're not constantly cycling, the D guy's gonna base up on you, and he's not gonna leave you alone to let you cut it. Now you got to play for these guys in Rochester, you said, and after your first meeting with Coach Tony, you were pretty inspired to come down and be a part of the Yeti. How do you attribute that to Coach Tony's style?
Well, you be around that guy for 30 seconds with him on a bench, and he knows his shit. He doesn't bullshit anything. He just straight to the point, and it just he gets the message around, right? Let's face it, you were there, Paul. That was, if you want to say, that kind of was a pro versus Joe game, and we gave them a run for their money.
They were shitting their pants, Justin.
Yeah, we gave them a run for their money.
I don't care what anybody says. It was they were shitting. Granted, Mike Cooper, God bless, that was your last professional game or whatever. It was your last professional game, because you want to know what? You guys were shitting, because with 3 minutes left in the game, 4 minutes left in the game, we was up by 2, and it just a bad spin of the ball is what it was that led to another, a quick breakout. And it's and it was so quick, boom, boom. They got 2 goals and tied it up so quick. It was like, what the freak just happened there? And then they got their the next 2, and because we were stretching out, but there's no question in my mind, question, they didn't think anything like that was coming.
Yeah. Well, my buddy that I drove up with was playing for the other team, and it's actually really funny how this whole thing started, because I wanted to play for them and they were full. And then I reached out to Nick Kiefer, and at first he was full. And then 2 weeks before it, he's like, hey, this guy hasn't got back to me in 2 weeks. You want to go? And I'm like, I'm in. And just instantly, there's only maybe, would you say, a handful of guys on our team that are actually playing for Utica?
Yeah. There wasn't many. There wasn't many.
That on its own, and the coaching staff, I was like, man, we could do something good here this summer.
It's roster wise, it's filled in nicely. I'm very happy. And everything that's supposed to be happening other than the Wild, and you want to know what can you do there? To say you feel for them a little bit. I mean, from how I'm understanding it, their team split and half the team went to a new team. So,
really?
That's whether that's true or not. That's there's a new team in that region, and I'm not on the computer enough to know exactly what's going on and who's who and everything like that. I probably should, but I got 2 other 40-hour jobs. It's been crazy. But yeah, that's what I understood. Well, whether it's right rumor, whether it's wrong rumor, I'm not spreading rumors, but that's what I did hear. That half their team or a portion of their team moved over to a new team. So if that's the case, then so be it. You know, wish them all the best of luck, and maybe they can make it up here next year.
Yeah,
know.
but I mean, to go from being the national champs to try to to have your team split apart like that. And I just watched them in that Philadelphia tournament when we went down there, and they were
Yeah, they're
yeah they
smoking.
yeah they were
Yeah.
smoking it down there. So for them to lose their guys like that, that's a huge you
And
know
again, if
shot.
I'm spreading rumors, I apologize. I'm not trying to be a rumor spreader. That's one thing I'm not. But that is, the why they only got 11 players and one goalie. I don't know, but that's what I was told. You know,
Yeah,
sucks to be them. Sucks to be them right now if that's the case scenario.
yeah, you ain't kidding. That is
Yeah.
that's a bad spot to be in at the beginning of the
I
season.
mean, so they won the championship
They
last
won
year.
the championship. They were they
Yeah.
were very legit last year as well.
Yeah,
You know, a
they're
bunch of young guys learned the game and played a lot of college ball together. They had a lot of chemistry and learned how to play the box game and took their athletic ability, like you was talking about, to a that box level, and they was good. They
Well,
were very talented.
if the rumor's true, it just sounds like they're making more room for the blue and white.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Sucks to be that or they were running for afraid now. Oh, did I say that? I did, didn't I? Shit. It's my. I guess I can say that. No, I gotta. It's not 9 o'clock yet. I
no,
gotta keep.
you're still a little bit in front of your 9
2
a.m.
minutes.
timer.
Yeah. I apologize. So it is still. That was ship.
Yes.
My teeth. I got my dentures are moving around, and sometimes it gives me a P. They sound alike. So.
All right. So what we've got the battle on the barge coming, and after the battle on the barge, what is the rest of the season look like for the Yetis? It looks like all your games are on Fridays, which is huge for us. It makes scheduling so much easier. You start against the Salt City Eels. Justin, do you know anything about the Salt City Eels? Did they fill you in at all? That's kind of like been their rival for the last.
Yeah, I don't know too much about them, but like majority of like the film that I've tried to watch on my own, like through YouTube, has been like I think it was like the finals are you guys against them. So I watched a lot of that, but like I don't know too many guys there or whatnot. But I've been keeping my eyes on certain things. Hopefully the same guys come back, but
We got we returned 16, so that's a nice great core. As far as obviously life happens and some guys moved on, but we brought back our goalie. All three goalies are coming back, so very excited about that. Defensively, we're sound. Left side, right side, facing off, and the new guys. I'm not showing my hand in regards to. I watched last night and Nate with his talk. You want to know what? Amen. Here we go. Ding ding. I love rivalry. I love game. I'm a bigger bullshitter.
that's why we
than
play,
anybody.
right? That's why
Pardon
we
that?
play. That's why we play for rivalry.
That's why we play the
Let's
game.
play this
Exactly.
game.
Yeah.
my-
Now, anybody who didn't see this, I forgot, and I wanted to put this picture up earlier. We now have Jesse DeMaze's Utica Yeti tattoo. That's how awesome that Yeti is. It just makes, I mean, you've got him getting that full-size tattoo on his arm. That is awesome. He broke that out in the last Yeti's talk. I mean, I love the Yeti. I don't know if I'm going to get one that big, but I think he's starting something. I think I might have to get a Yeti tattoo myself. I like the way that looks.
If we win an Natty.
It just so happens that the Nexus Utica University Nexus Center is having a tattoo convention on June 10th. So I know the Yeti are going to be having practice that day, and I know I'm definitely going in. There's no question. The big dog's got to get something like that on his shoulder as well. If Jesse DeMaze, my man Jesse DeMaze, is going to go that route. I got that, or I got the dancing bear, or not the dancing bear, but the dancing Yeti.
Dancing Yetis with the dancing Yetis are cool, and actually, Charity could probably turn. She's got one of the dancing bears on her. She might even be able to just turn that into a Yeti now. She's a little older.
I do as well. And if you take a look at the sticker or the T-shirt, the dancing Yeti in the middle is green. Well, There's a reason why the dancing Yeti in the middle is green, is because that's the dancing bear on my leg, and he's green.
That's
so
awesome.
I was playing it off of that. That's off my my bear. But yeah, as far as the things that are going on in Utica are incredible. We got the Eels on the 16th after we're going to take a little break, or I don't know. There's still something going on down in Albany. I got to talk to Justin, like I said, and maybe we may take a ride down June 10th if they're still doing something and there is still room. Not 100% positive, but we will look at it. But otherwise, June 10th, we'll be taking the weekend off and regrouping as a
Tattoo
team.
convention. I will be actually. I just looked at our new streaming schedule we posted. We will be in Tuscarora filming their youth that day, so we'll be out there. We're gonna film. I think it goes from the Pee Wees right up through Junior B, and we'll be filming that. And that's the 9th. The men are playing, and then after that, it's the kids. So pretty excited for that weekend. Yeah, big stream schedule came out today. We Tuscarora and Allegheny have committed to a bunch of games. And now with the June 4th, that's why this new stream schedule says TBA, because if Sunday is maybe not happening at the Battle on the Barge, I might be heading out west a little bit farther, and we might be either way, there will probably be some live lacrosse on Blue Squatch Productions on that
That's
day.
awesome stuff, no question. I'm fired up for the 23rd. I ain't gonna lie to you. When we get up to Alexandria Bay, that's gonna be a great weekend. As far as we're pretty fired up to meet some old compadres and shake hands at the end and have a slice of pie or whatever they do up in Alexandria Bay. It's bikers weekend that weekend, so it's going to be a pretty entertaining weekend up there, I'm sure.
Well, that's bikers weekend, and it's also they're doing a memorial for Jobson's brother. So if anybody can make that the 23rd, we just put it in our calendar. I actually didn't even told Nate yet. So Jobson, if you're watching this, I believe I've got you marked in the calendar, and Mrs. Beecher said it's okay. So we will be up there to try to live stream the game. We'll see how it goes. We might end up having to record it. I don't know. We didn't really get a chance to check out his internet to live stream the last one because we just recorded it with our phones. I'm really excited to see if it can come out a lot better with that new camera up there. I think we should be in pretty good shape. But yeah, we will. That's going to be added to the stream schedule soon, June 23rd. We will be at the Thousand Island Spirits, whether it's recorded or live stream, and uploaded the next day or whatever. But anybody in the area, get there. Now, one thing you were telling me, Justin, is that's actually like a halfway trip for you. So that's almost like a home game for you heading that way.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think Utica is the farthest I got to go for any of them.
Hey, and we're happy that you're wanting to play with us, brother.
I wouldn't change it, man.
Your dream is the same as the guys that you're on the roster with, and I know they're fired up. This past weekend we had our best practice yet. The numbers were there. We was inside the Nexus Center, inside Rink 1.
But how could you not? How could you not be inspired? You're out there with some of the men's team is having some tryouts. You've got the very first women's ever. It's historical. But Paul, I got to cut you off. We got to get to our sponsors, otherwise we're never going to. We've already been at this for at least about 40 minutes. We're doing what we do. So we will be going to the sponsors, and we will be right back in a couple minutes, folks. Thanks everybody for joining.
Black River Ale House.
All right.
When in Rome,
Right,
the Romans do. They stop into Black River Ale House and have themselves a nice cold brew. Fay Farms. You want the beef? Fay Farms, they got the beef. Contact Jimmy Fay. Fay Farms. Family Landscaping. Make your neighbors green with envy. Stop stressing about lawn maintenance. Contact Russ down at Family Landscaping, 315-768-7073. Avoid the hassle of doing it yourself. Contact Russ down at Family Landscaping. Get a hold of them. The line is forming. Nora's Candy Shop, Rome, New York, on Dockstetter Street, home of the world famous turkey joints. Stop into Nora's Candy, especially if you got a sweet tooth. They have chocolates. They have candies. They have turkey joints. Love them turkey joints. World famous turkey joints. Stop into Nora's, Rome, New York. Or check them out online. Nora's Candy, Bag Square Brew Company. Downtown Utica, Bag Square Commons. Your authentic German food for authentic German beer, for authentic German flavor of just about everything. Bag Square Brewery has a great Saturday evening marketplace. How about stop down Thursday? Do a little trivia. Better yet, stop down Wednesday. Have a little karaoke. Bag Square Brewery, downtown Utica. Tigre for all your construction needs in the plumbing works, the pumping works, the water works, HVAC. If you got to do some irrigation, some drainage, some pool and spa, Dura Plastic. Contact Jimmy Fay, your one stop shop for plastic pipe fittings in the U.S.
And we are back. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Without them, this would not be happening. So definitely support our sponsors because, like I said, without them, we're just kind of sitting here talking on a Google Meet and nobody's watching.
It's humbling, and I thank my sponsors so much. The Yetis thank them so much. Please get out there, support. It's incredible what's going on here in Utica, and it's growing. I can't wait till tomorrow. Some big things tomorrow, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed, and fired up, man. The season we're less than 2 weeks away. What are we, 10 days away? Right around 10 days away.
Yeah.
And the clock is ticking, and on Instagram it's ticking away. Or is that on YouTube? Where is that?
What are you looking for?
That clock that you made, and it ticks down till game time. Wasn't that your clock?
That wasn't my clock.
Well, that may have been the Nexus. I think it was the Nexus.
Nexus
Hey, I
Center?
did talk to them today, and I gave them all your the information. They're going to be contacting you.
Perfect. So we'll be hearing from them. So I'll look up the Nexus Center. They got it on their Facebook page, you think?
It was one of them, Facebook or on Instagram, one of the two.
All
Or
right,
it might have been on mine. They're doing the advertisement for us. I wanted to. I'm excited for the fact that the word's getting out there. Tomorrow or on Friday morning, I'm on Talk of the Town 100.7 on the FM dial. It's a pretty listened to station. We were just on the Keeler show. We're getting out into the general public. I want 1,000 people in that place, man. And to say Utica can do such a thing, you want to know what? We're going to put 1,000 people in there before the end of the season. There's no question. I especially once they get to see what's going on. They come and take a look at the games, watch the games. And I'm not just saying for the Yeti, I'm propping up the other three teams as well, because the talent level and the commitment that these players are putting out on the floor is it's pretty awesome. It shows by people taking a look at the replays, and what you're putting out there, Greg, is helped us immensely, and it's helping grow the game. We can't thank you enough as well, and Mrs. Beach and the family, because that's what I love most about it is, to say family. We preach family as an organization, and to sit there and watch the two kids, right there in there and working side by side with mom and dad. I love it. I love it.
It's been an awesome experience. And actually, Bella, we just started firing her computer up. She's going to start controlling the soundboard and stuff. She's getting into it. And this way, in case we want to run something where you can run audio across the room and it won't pick up over the broadcast, but we'll still be able to talk to each other running the cameras. So yeah, there's been a lot of training going in here at Blue Squatch. I'm really excited for the season. And the other thing that I was talking to you about today, Paul, is we're actually going to kind of reformat how we do Yeti Talks once the season get underway, and we're going to try to essentially mimic the Thunderbirds 360, where every week before the game, I mean, in the in between weeks, we'll probably just talk more about NABLL news and what's going on in Can-Am and cover some box lacrosse stuff. But like leading up to the Battle on the Barge, the Yeti Talk right before, it's going to be like, okay, here we go. This is what's going on in the Yetis. This is the Nexus Center. Let's go. It's I'm excited. A lot of big things have been happening.
Justin, Justin, with what Beecher's saying right there, wait till you get in the locker room. You're gonna love the locker room. The what we got going on, what the Nexus does, what the Odd does for us. It's it's pro. I love what it is. To say you guys are pros, you guys are pros. In my personal opinion, obviously, what the product you guys put on the field is pro ball, in my opinion, and excited to get you guys what you guys deserve, and we're gonna continue to make this train roll and get bigger. I'm fired up, man. It's great stuff. I got a question because we're always talking. We're talking. Who's your team? You're a Toronto Rock guy?
No.
I've
been a Rochester Nighthawks fan since I was like little kid. Then it has to John Grant, Sean Evans, Scotty Evans, like all the Peterborough boys. Patty O'Toole, Brampton, but played senior for Peterborough. And I just kind of rolled with it because now, like, I got good buddies that play on them, and I felt pretty good about them in the starting of the year, but it kind of fell off. But hey, I've always liked Rochester. My dream growing up was like to either play in Roch or Buffalo. Like the atmosphere, especially old Rochester, like that place used to be bumping just like Buffalo.
Oh yeah. Well, you had a Reggie Thorpe in there doing some seriously, just banging bodies.
Yeah.
Crazy good stuff. Good stuff back then. Cam Bomberry, the good old days. Throwing out. How about a Neil Paulus? How's that gonna feel, bro? Running with the Neil Paulus.
Oh, hey, I just like the way I'm saying it is my job this year. My role is to make Neil's job a lot easier. Just give him space so he can do his thing, man.
You understand? The boys are fired up. I know that. I've been there.
Fired
up watching it, and it's exciting stuff. So as far as the Rochester guys, who do you think, Beecher? We're down to 2. We've talked a lot of box lacrosse. We've had our share of what we had. We have one sit-in where we had a game show, and we watched it on a Saturday after morning. Yeah. That early Philadelphia game there. And who you like?
Oh, I'm telling you, this year Buffalo's getting it. I thought they might have peaked too early, and I'm not saying it can't happen again because Buffalo's a super emotional team. Colorado played like crap at the beginning of the year, so everybody doubted them. Everybody was talking smack, and I said it at the beginning. I said they are just a team that knows when they need to peak. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think if it goes to 3 games, Colorado's got a chance, but if it's over within 2, Buffalo's going to roll them. If they can beat, I expect Buffalo to come out and win the first one. And it'll really be, I think, up to Buffalo and how they do in the second game.
Yeah. As far as I'm a Buffalo Bandit guy. I gotta believe I've been saying Manitoke, that Nanitoke Smith matchup.
But even more than that,
the rookie Byrne. There. Yeah.
Oh no, but yeah, Josh Byrne is really, I think so. It's hard to say underrated, but he missed a big chunk of the season. But every game he's been in, he is just killing it this year. If he didn't have that leg injury, he'd have been right up there with Dane, I think, for the points. Yeah, they rely a lot on Dane, though, so that's the thing. If you can find a way to shut him down somehow, I mean, Nanitoke and Byrne, they do come up with offense, but if you look at the assists that Dane has, and if you can find a way to negate him being that floor general somehow, and to get the emotion, because that's where Buffalo starts making mistakes. You get in their head, Nanitoke will take a stupid penalty. A lot of their players get emotionally charged, and they do that little, they get hyped up.
Well, my answer?
Yeah.
So I would like to see Buffalo win just because none of those guys have got so close, and it'd be kind of cool to see Johnny T win one as a coach now. But Colorado beat them last year without Eli McLaughlin or Ryan Lee, and they're their 2 probably in their top 5 best players, and they're back buzzing. And I think it really comes down to goaltending. Both those goalies are very either they're on or they're not. Like I see Vino a lot in the summer, and he has some unreal games. But if you get to Vino early, it could be game over for Buffalo, man. And then if Buffalo doesn't win, they got to change something up there. They gotta. It's like my poor Leafs.
They tried that this year with getting rid of Connor Fields, and they're really hoping that that kind of pays off. But I don't know, because what else? I mean, what else do you do at this point if they don't? What could you change?
Yeah, like I do also strong believe that maybe they did hit their peak. Like I don't like that Toronto team was really good, and they just either they didn't show up or What?
They just beat the shit out of them.
I
It's
think,
at
honestly,
Both games.
yeah.
both games, they pounded them.
I think the ratio was like 31-12 goals in 2 games.
Yeah,
Toronto.
yeah,
Yeah,
nuts.
that's
They
something
are-
that people don't like. Buffalo does this a lot though. They are so emotionally drained, but they might have enough time to recover. But they're one of those teams that if you like you said that you get in their head early, you can really get them. You can get them going, and then
Yeah.
some of that emotion turns into penalties, and then the next thing you know, you're down. And we just talked about Colorado's offense, but I mean Dylan
Yeah.
Ward back there though in the goalkeeping. That's the other thing though, is he had a really bad start to the season. So it's like, is he
Yeah.
going to start going back to that, or is he confidence
It's
brimming right now? I
it's
mean,
right. Like Albany, I'm pretty sure kind of smoked Buffalo in the start of the year. Vino had a pretty bad game there too. That's just goaltending, right? Like they have their games. One thing I'll give Buff though, like obviously they got the scoring power, but they got a really good transition game. Like there's not many teams. Besides, I thought Calgary was gonna take Colorado.
I thought they did too. My buddy Owen, Lacrossing Barriers. We're going to talk about them in a couple minutes, but yeah, he's got me watching Colorado, man, or Calgary. I'm sorry, and I thought for sure, like you said, Calgary with that transition. But the problem with transition is sometimes they get stopped, and then if you don't get the possessions and you turn it over on the transition, your defense is
Yeah.
exhausted. And
But Buff has guys like Ian McKay that like he used to just be strictly a D guy, and like he can go out the back door and still score you 5 goals a game. Like he's an absolute stud. I think the thing I get worried sometimes with certain teams, like you have too many guys that want to be the guy. You know what I mean? That
Know
could
your
really
role.
screw you.
Know your role.
Could really screw you at the end.
Yeah.
To me, Colorado seems like everyone just like look at Zed. That guy doesn't show any emotion, doesn't brag about anything. Like
kisses at his stick after every
yeah,
game, and that after every goal, that's it. Yeah, he's one of my
yeah,
favorite players to watch. Honestly, the way he plays, he's a beast out there. Doesn't matter what happens. Like you said, you'll see somebody right up under his helmet, knocking him in the face, and he just keeps going, does his thing, kisses his stick, gets back off the field. Yeah, he's by far one of my favorite players. I love watching him when he's
well,
on. It's
they
great.
I think it's their Instagram did they filmed a thing in their room after one of their games this year, and like they were giving him the player of the game, and he's like I don't deserve this, and he just goes I just love all you guys. That's all he said.
That's it. Right there, man.
And to be
You play
honest
for
with
the
you,
guy, you play for that guy that's to the right. You play for that guy that's to the left, in front, and behind. That's
to be honest with you, like I'm sure the guys on Buffalo, like a lot of them have good relationships, but I don't think they have that Colorado has when it has. I gotta be a little biased too. The captain of Colorado is a Peterborough boy, but like I don't know. I hope it goes 3 just so we get to watch 3 games
we
of
get to watch
lacrosse.
it. Yeah, I agree. I'm in on that, but hopefully Bandits take it.
Yeah, see, but
They
I'm in
deserve
on
it.
3, but I think if it goes to 3, I honestly don't think Buffalo. I think they play. I don't know. They drain. You see it a lot with the tank. They come out hot or they come out cold, but they only have like bursts. They're a very burst oriented team. But that being said, on one burst they can get 8 goals, and then the next thing you
Mm-hmm.
know, now all of a sudden you just had a 2-goal lead. Now you're down by 6, and it's like, wow, what the heck just happened?
Yeah. Now, do we know yet who gets the first game?
It's in Colorado. It's in Colorado, back to back in Buffalo, I believe. Last night, I thought that's what I read. First one in Colorado, and then Buffalo if third is needed.
Yeah. Sometimes you wonder if that elevation thing's actually real.
Yeah.
But you see it in football all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You know, the positive is quick shifts.
And like those are, I mean, it's a treat really to have those two teams play each other in the finals because anyone that's been to any of those rinks or like I asked buddies that play, like both those arenas are like their favorite places to play a game. Like they're both crazy.
Yeah. So according to this, it's going to be Buffalo, Colorado, Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo, Colorado, Buffalo.
Yeah.
I was close, right?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
close. So this
But I
set,
thought isn't the third game just a small it's a 1/4 game, isn't it?
Oh, I
No.
don't think they do that anymore.
no,
Oh, they
it's a
changed that
it's a
rule?
full game. Yeah, it's a full game now.
Okay. Okay.
Guys on Rochester will say that's the only reason they won that last championship before.
Yeah, with Jammer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan. That was because didn't they do it like the next day or that night or something?
No, it
like
was right after it. Yeah, it was right then and there.
So it's just straight up like the NABLL where like we're just running. You come down, you run your balls off for 3 days, and somehow you get a championship game where guys are still running.
It's
That's the one thing I like. It kills me because by the time we're done streaming for 3 days and we're just standing there running computers and cameras and I'm exhausted and like just watching those guys out there running and the refs. But yeah, the I don't know. I feel like you need a week off. It seems like in between a box lacrosse game. I always find it funny. I think it's it's as intense as football as far as some of the hits. It can beat the crap out of you. So like when you're especially as you get older, you
Oh yeah.
need
But
time to recover.
at least those pro football players don't have to go work all week.
Yeah.
right.
They get all the treatment too. Like majority of these guys are going to their Monday to Friday job the next day. Like it's tough, man.
Yeah, like could you imagine Matty Vince like you're one of the kids that he's like a math teacher at an elementary school or something. So all of a sudden he
Yeah.
just like comes in and he's it's like, Bud, you just played in the championship game. Yeah, I know, and I'm here to teach you about algebra. Let's go. Huh?
Well, that's why like Dylan Ward last year, he didn't go to the sixes because he won the championship and he was supposed to be Canada's goalie. And he's like, yeah, I'm on a bender, boys. I'm not coming.
I'm enjoying this one, boys.
You gotta picture though, as I hope like Buffalo, I like to see them win, but I just don't think so. But like Colorado winning last year in Buffalo, like forget about winning at home. If you're gonna win somewhere else like that,
That's what I mean. And if I think we'll see a repeat again. I think Buffalo. I honestly think if Buffalo doesn't finish it in Colorado, they're going to come back. They're going to be amped up. They're going to have an amazing first, maybe second quarter, and then I think Colorado's just going to eke out the win at the end.
yeah. Well, and another thing too, right, that you got to think of is if it comes back to Buff, that means so many more families of people on Colorado get to go to the game, and then it turns it into a home game kind of for both teams. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but like when Zed Williams, his family comes, like he's always an animal, but like he turns on an extra gear, and then you get all the Ontario guys that are in Buffalo. That's just it's an hour drive from me to Buffalo. Like then all their families come. Like it's a lot easier than flying out to Colorado and stuff. Like
it gets loaded. They load that barn up, man.
I tell you,
That's
there's
the
nothing
dream.
like
That's the dream, man. That's the dream.
the bagpipes get you going. If they don't get you going, you should just leave that building.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we got to talk about that, Paul. Don't let me forget. Yeti playing the drum, maybe Sasquatch.
Okay.
Cross check with the drum, kind of like the Buffalo's got the drum guys that come out. We might have something in line for that for Battle on the Barge. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be awesome to watch. Maybe we'll do a watch party. Well, no, we can't because I will be Saturday. I will be in Onondaga streaming.
You're in Onondaga streaming. You're a busy man now, Beecher. You're a busy
Does that
man.
start this weekend?
The Can-Am's already started.
They already
No,
started.
does the championship series start this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday. Or
Yes.
is it?
Yep.
Yeah, the 27th is first game, and then they play Monday the 29th, and then maybe Saturday June 3rd. They might be playing Battle on the Barge and
Well, that's the beauty. I guarantee that game won't start until 7:30 in the evening. So you want to know what we'll be doing? We'll be watching that game and hopefully celebrating with many of the locals at the Bank Square Brewery down
After
in
party at Bank
downtown
Square.
Utica.
Yes.
I'm excited to see that place.
It's a very awesome place. I don't know how much German cuisine you eat, but
Everybody
if you
likes
like
burgers.
Spitzels, and if you like burgers, they got incredible burgers. Incredible beer. A lot of great things going on down at the Bank Square Brewery.
Are we going to have the cross check available? Is it going to come out then?
Is cross check? The last I knew, Jen said that it is in brew. Whether it's ready or not is the magic question. That is the magic question. So as far as I know, they have plenty of other great fresh beers over there. I know the lounge inside the Nexus Center will be serving up some of their specialties, and the Nexus Center is pumped up. They're fired up. It's going to be an awesome time. As far as, and we're not stopping the tailgating. That's the one nice thing is the regular season games are at 7:30. The tailgate and the musical that'll start out in the parking lot at about 5:30. So when guys people get done, bring the barbecue down and grill up some burgers, have a couple sarsaparillas, and get ready to watch some incredible lacrosse, because Friday nights in Utica and throughout upstate New York, they're going to be rocking.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
It's a good time to be in the NABLL upstate. As far as talking to many of the general managers, everybody feels as though we're playing for. Let's see here. This would be the one. That'd be the one right there.
The other one's not for the other one.
The other
That one
nobody
stays
gets.
there, but
Nobody gets that one. That
trophy,
one, stays in
you've
Yeti
got to.
Den.
Yeah, that's true. That one that's sitting right above your shoulder, you've got to earn that one. That one might disappear after this year.
But the one quality thing though is it is branded in there for forever. 2022, the regional. Let's see. Let's dig a little bit here. The regional upstate champions. We're looking to redeem and go a little bit farther. I know Nate was talking last night. Well, guess what? Now I'm on my show and I can talk on my show. Yeah, we're coming back. I'll tell every one of you. We're coming back, and we're coming back to defend. That's how I feel right now. And you want to know what? I know the boys are feeling the same thing. And I can't wait to the June 3rd to get these guys on the field, Beecher. I'm fired up, man. Fired up. I know.
How could you not be? On that note, we're going to wrap this up. Justin, thank you so much for tuning in. Give us a, what are your goals to come with the Yeti? I mean, you're driving 4 hours away. You obviously got to have some goals for coming down here. The national championship, obviously, but what are you expecting to basically accomplish personally this year?
I don't give a shit about anything personally, to be honest with you.
Love it.
I'll be straight up with you. It's to win it. It's only to win a championship. Like, meet new family as I go, new friends, but I'm here to. I know you said not just a championship, but I'm not here for personal things. Like, I'm here to do my job. Here to help Neil Palace on the left side, make his job a little easier, and win a championship. Really, that's what it comes down to, right? Like, I could play here all summer if I wanted to, but I want to be a part of something special up there. And, like, I'm not really settling for anything other than winning, to be honest. And then if I win, I'll get that tattoo.
Then you get that tattoo. That's what we're talking. Hey, you want to know what, Greg? This is a little shout out to the NABLL on that right there. You want to know what? It's called the North American Box Lacrosse League. There's a reason. You want to know what? Look what it's already done. It's reached out. We've obviously gotten very fortunate to meet up with Justin, and Justin reach out to us, and good things are happening, and we're fired up about that. But that's the beauty of it, is to honestly merge and get some of the Canadian guys to come down and say, you know what, this is a legit league. It is a legit league. As far as we've proven it. And it's going to continue to be proven.
It's going to continue to grow. It's like anything else, though. As long as we can keep getting guys in this, the more time you have on that floor, the better you get. You see it, and you see it really fast with the young teams like Oswego, but you also, like, I missed the first year of the Yeti to see that growth, but watching somebody like Blaine who gets out there and getting the guidance, and sometimes he does a little silly stuff that gets Kiefer upset. But I tell you what, Blaine is one of the most entertaining lacrosse players. You're in for a treat, Justin, because
I've only played with Kiefer once, and I've seen him give a bit of his constructive criticism to some of the lads.
Oh yeah, Kiefer's always going to let you know how he thinks. You never wonder what Kiefer's thinking. He's going to let you know. But Blaine is he is. I don't know. He just deadlifts like mass amounts of weight, but he like flies out there. He like looks like he
Launches.
glides. When he jumps, he floats for like 10 feet and just does all this silly stuff. He's got that backyard fun style to watch. And I know, like I said, sometimes it drives Keeper a little crazy because he'll try something to be like, that was the best shot I had. He's like, jumping in the air and throwing it between your legs was definitely not the best shot you had. Don't lie to me, bud. But
It-
for me, it's awesome because when it scores, it's like, wow, that's amazing. When it doesn't, it's like it was still a cool highlight.
Yeah.
it-
Hey,
it's
you
good.
gotta let people be creative, man. That's the way this game's going too. Like some people, if they don't play, that's the way they play, right? Like,
Well, I clipped a kid from junior A's today and our junior B's today from up there, and he runs basically out of room by the time he gets the pass, throws it behind his back, and creates a whole different angle that he
yeah,
never would have hit, without doing that. So in that instance, then 100% behind the back shot's the one you're going to take, especially if you've actually practiced it and you're able to hit that corner on the run, which blew my mind that this, young man, less than 21 years old, on a dead sprint caught the ball and in one move right behind his back into that far right top corner. I'm excited for what's to come and can't wait for next week. And then after that, we start the Yeti 360 step. We're still going to call it Yeti Talks because that's easier and everybody will
It's
watch
easy.
it.
Well, I don't know. Just to say something about Blaine right there. Just not for nothing. There's another kid that's he's put the time in. He's putting the time in, and I love seeing the want and desire from kids. I say kids because I've been coaching, and usually most of these guys I've been around at least 20 years. So it's pretty awesome to see them come from the field into the box and watch that fire get relit. So I'm excited, boys. 2023.
fired up.
2023. He's got the Yeti whacker.
All right, Yeti whacking. Have a good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Yeti Nation. Justin, thank you. Don't hang up, though.
I won't. Yeti
do a
Nation,
fake.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right.